Hi guys, it's Tim again. I'm from Fast Fun Japan here in Hirafu, and I'm here making this video because I got a lot of questions about what exactly is Hirafu. So, for those who are unaware, I can guess that Niseko can be kind of confusing. Okay, so a lot of people seem to think that Niseko is a place that you go to. Although technically correct, it's also technically wrong because Niseko is not exactly a destination, it's more an area where there are a lot of little destinations that you go to. For example, Fast Fun is in Hirafu, for example. So you have to realize that Niseko actually comprises of about 5 different main locations, mainly Higashiyama, otherwise known as Niseko Village, Hirafu Village, where we are, Moiwa, Anupuri, and Hanazono. So don't mix these guys up. Niseko is not Niseko Village, it is a place, not a location. So, I have the map down there and I'll be explaining where each of these places are. So, as you can see, Moiwa is on the extreme left, Anupuri next to it, Niseko Village next to it, followed by Hirafu and Hanazono further up north. You'll notice that Anupuri, Niseko Village, Hirafu and Hanazono are actually part of the same mountain. That's because they are otherwise known as Niseko United because each of these places can be simply, if you go up to the top of the mountain and ski down to another side, you end up in a different resort. So that's great, Niseko United. So, a lot of people think that to get to Hirafu or Niseko Village, you gotta go to Niseko Station. That's completely wrong. You end up in the middle of nowhere, you won't be able to get anywhere. Likewise, Hirafu Station does not have any transport options for you to get to Hirafu. Though technically nearer to Hirafu Village, it's impossible for you to get anywhere from there, so don't try it. Next up, we have Kuchan Station, which is the main hub from which you go to Hirafu, Hanazono, Higashiyama, whatever. It's from Kuchan. All the buses, taxis, the pickup locations from the hotels you'll be staying at or whatever, generally all come from Kuchan, so don't go to the wrong place. So, as I mentioned earlier, this has been causing a lot of problems in the sense that a lot of people think that Niseko Village is actually Niseko, but it's not. Completely different. The main ski resort in Niseko is actually Hirafu, where we are, because of the sheer number of rental places, the food, the tourist locations, the motels, hotels, whatever, the nightlife even. So yeah, don't mix it up. And also, even though the train stops are the same, like Hirafu Station, Niseko Village, they're all actually not near to Hirafu Village. They are come very, very far. The right stop is Kuchan. Really important. Kuchan. Okay, so right now I'm gonna go and explain about the 5 different villages and which one you want to go to. Right? So, don't mix it up. Right. So, first, Hirafu, where we are. It's the main ski resort where everybody really go to when the season is on, because the sheer number of equipment rentals, the good food, holiday homes, pensions, like the Vale, Alpen Ridge, Australia House, stuff like that. Plus there's very active nightlife for the younger folks, like bars, clubs, whatever, you can name it. It's also very close to Kuchan, about 15 minutes drive away. So if you're renting a car, it's great. It's also the most popular site during the season, with mainly like people from like Singapore, Australia, not so much locals though, mainly foreigners. Next we have Anupuri. It's about west of Higashiyama, Niseko Village, like I said earlier. It's very beginner friendly slopes, so maybe better if you're newer. It's only really hotels and pensions, there's not much else there, it's pretty quiet. But it's kind of nice if you like the scenery. And yeah, it's really quiet at night. Next we have Higashiyama, which is the second largest ski resort village on the other side of the mountain. There's only really 2 resorts there, and it's much quieter at night, but it's growing slowly, catching up to Hirafu really. Next we have Hanazono on the north side. The only thing really there is the 308 ski center. So I mean, there's not much else. But on the slopes there's a lot of parks, like at least 3 for like jumps, rails, boxes, whatever. All great stuff. There's also backcountry tours offered there for pretty cheap, yeah. But there's no nightlife and it's basically only 308 ski center. There's no other resorts. And finally we have Moiwa, which is really quiet, not very popular. No one really goes there, to be honest. You can't snowboard or ski over there from the central Hirafu mountain or whatever. And there's only like a few resorts or hotels at this base, so not that great. Right, so now I'll talk about how to get here and make sure you don't get lost. Right, so how to get here. There are mainly 5 different ways to get here, meaning local bus, the train, taxi, rental car, and the sky bus, or private transport, I guess. So, for the bus, it's by far the cheapest and fastest, taking about 3 hours. There's a rest stop halfway, so don't need to worry too much about going to the toilet. The bus stop numbers are put down there, in case you want to try calling them to book a bus or whatever. And it's only 4,000 yen two-way. But it's only open during certain periods of time, mainly in the winter season, not so much during the rest. So if you want to check the exact time, you should give them a call. Next up we have the train. It's not as fast, about 4 hours, but it's incredibly scenic. Like it goes by the sea, you can see like the seaside towns, the sea breeze, whatever. And it's only 5,000 yen two-way, it's about the same really. But it's a little bit more complicated. You got a ticket from the airport to Otaru and change at Otaru to go to Kuchan. Then at Kuchan, you either take a taxi or a bus, or you get the guy who's you're staying at to pick you up. Because it's pretty near, it's okay. There's also toilets in the train, so you know, once again, don't need to worry too much about toilet breaks. Next, we have taxi, which is really expensive if you take it from the airport. It's fastest, about 30,000 yen though, but I mean, if you're in an emergency, like you suddenly landed too late or whatever, could be a good call. Next, we have rental car. Rental car is okay if you have an international driver's license and your passport at hand. It's about 7,000 yen for a 24-hour drive, and it's really helpful if you want to buy like groceries or whatever, because you can drive down to Kuchan and just buy it. It'd be a lot easier maybe. But it's a bit difficult if it's snowy and the weather is bad, because if you're not sure how to drive in snow, it can be kind of dangerous. So don't do it if you're not too sure how to drive there. And finally, the Skybus delivery service, which is a door-to-door taxi service. It comes with Wi-Fi and DVD players. It's amazing. It's great. But it comes pretty expensive. It's about 30,000 yen. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, you better take note of that. If you do have a lot of money to burn though, it can be pretty neat. Well, anyway, that's all the time I've got. Do feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you want to ask for any more help, our contact is below. And I'll get back to you if you do have a comment or whatever. So, yeah, I'll see you. Bye. The term Goofy actually came from a 1937 cartoon featuring, if you can guess who, Goofy, surfing with his right foot forward and, well, crashing into the